All right, and welcome back, you guys, to another draw stream today. And it's been a minute because I think the last time I did one was the Star Sapphire. And obviously the last stream I did was the Unicron diorama. So yeah, it's been a while. Just open the comments up, see if anyone's dropped by yet. Nope. All right. And today, in the spirit of Halloween, we'll be doing a Lady Death, which I think I did ink on this channel once, but I don't think I colored it. So if not, then, here we are now. We're going to be working on this today. And let's just get right into it, I suppose. If you're hoping to get some lore out of her, I'm probably the last person you want to talk to about it because I am not the most knowledgeable on Lady Death. I just thought she was hot and I want to draw her one day. And it kind of works for Halloween. She is a Halloween-esque character. So, but actually, I'm thinking about grabbing some comics at some point from her just to get a little more interest because she has a really cool-looking character. So. Not enough time of day. Let's start out the Cool Gray 1 or Cool Gray 0. Just kind of get a feel for what I want to do with her so far. Just kind of get started on the skin tones because I'm trying to think about it in my head how I want to do the hair. If I want to do the same sort of color combinations, or if I want to do a different combination, just a little bit. Just kind of add a little bit of a difference between the hair and the skin, but yeah, I'm glad my markers haven't dried up since I've last used them, because they will dry up on you if you're not watching them carefully. Ooh. But that's why we have refills. So. See. She has red lips, right? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. Just checking. Not that I'm doing them right now, but I just want to have a mental note before we get too far. But yeah, it's been very, very busy lately. I just haven't really been on the stream because I've been doing a lot of different side projects that I couldn't stream. So, and if you've been following me on Twitter and stuff like that, you'll kind of know that I've been doing some spray paint art, actually. I did a couple, and they're mostly because they are gifts for family members for Christmas, so I had to get this done as soon as possible because if you know spray paint, you kind of have to do it when it's really warm out. Like warm weather is where it's best to do spray paint art most of the time. So I kind of found that out after the fact, so... And and where I live, it's going to get a lot colder now. So I have to get those out of the way as soon as possible. So, but those are all done now, so I can focus on other things. But yeah. Just trying to identify all the skin tone first and foremost, just so we have a mental note of everything. Fingernails, they black, red, gotcha. Red lips, red fingernails, and red cape. For inside the cape is red, but the rest is all black, kind of like a robin cape. So. Just giving myself some mental notes before I mess everything up. Yeah, with like a really light skin tone, especially with white skin, you kind of want to work really, really slow. Just take your time with it. And then obviously gold for the skulls. Do a little bit of shadow here. A little bit of a shadow there and there. Just figuring out where your shadows are is the most important thing, really, when it comes to art or if it comes to coloring. And just kind of building everything around that, I suppose. It's the best way to kind of describe it. Describe the process. I do want to add a refill real quick. You guys, it's been forever. Let's see, 0. Why is my camera not focusing? I don't know why it does that. Whatever. Why do you do this? Whatever. Can't fix it, I don't think. Unless I... But yeah, other than that, what I've been doing, actually, what I wanted to do for this stream actually, was I wanted for Halloween this year, I actually wanted to do, I kind of mentioned it my last stream, I think, where I wanted to kind of do like a goth, like DC women sort of series or something like that, but I just didn't really pan out the way I wanted, or didn't really get around to it, rather. But I can always do it now that I have more time to kind of work on things, because I have been away for a little while. It kind of shows, like, I've kind of noticed that, you know, just getting my groove back, my art, because I'm a little bit rusty right now, because I've been, as I said, I was doing a lot of spray paint art, so it kind of took up most of my creative time and practice and all that. So I think the next couple of streams is just going to be me finishing up older pieces, I think, just kind of getting back into the rhythm. We'll kind of get more into some of the original stuff. So that's why you need to be practicing all the time as an artist. Like, it's not just like you get good once and then it's like you're good forever. It's like, no, you got to be practicing constantly. Otherwise, your skills will eventually diminish or become rusty. That's why they say practice makes perfect, because the more you do something, the more you get better at it, and more, and you're never losing steam. But yeah. But actually, I do have a new phone now, so that actually might make things a lot easier for me moving forward with streaming. I just gotta learn how to integrate that a bit more, because next summer, I think I wanted to use some actual like live streams when I do my spray paint works. I kind of want to do more of it, but we'll see about that, if I'm actually going to commit to it or not. Because as you all know, I have commitment issues on this channel sometimes. It's Yeah, I'm human. I promise one thing, do another thing, or I just never get around to doing what I want to do. Life, work, all that shit gets in the way. It is what it is. Yeah, at least I'm honest about it now. Anyways, let's see. Not too worried if it cuts into the black areas because I will be covering up. Hey, Final Fantasy fan, how's it going, man? Happy Halloween! Yeah, same to you. Yeah, we're doing Lady Death. Actually, I was actually trying to sketch out. This is kind of how much my skill has kind of gotten a little bit rusty. I was trying to draw a Wonder Woman this morning, actually, but I don't know, it might have just been because I was doing it early, because that's when I usually don't draw my best, is in the morning. But yeah, I was a little bit rusty because I've been drawing for a little while, so I just had to like crack out a older piece, which was the Lady Death, and yeah, that's where we are today now. So, which is good because it's kind of fitting for Halloween, anyways. You know, she's a very Halloween-y sort of character, so. Let's do very, very light strokes here for the side of the cheek. Because for reason, try to keep in mind a little bit of a light source in mind, or an imaginary one. You know. And with the light kind of hitting more like kind of like this way a little bit. I haven't really decided what the background is just yet. This one. I'll probably just keep it simple because there's not a whole lot of space to do a full background here, so let's do a very, very simple sort of thing here. But, yeah. Let's grab you. Let's grab fingers. Okay. Well, we have this color, might as well do the hair now. Yeah. All right. And we'll grab a shadow render hair like this. All right. Actually, speaking of Final Fantasy, I actually just kind of thought about it with your name. Actually, I did a couple Tifa's actually, a couple Tifa drawings, so I might actually do that once because I have a bunch of stuff that's in my portfolios that are need to do sort of thing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try and become a bit more regular with my streaming. Try and stop being a little bit lazy, because a lot of time that's kind of what it is. But it's mostly because I've been taking a lot of out of town work, and that kind of saps away a lot of my energy. But with the holidays coming around, I probably won't have as many shits at work, so I will. I'll try to stream around those times a bit more. And yeah, I got a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of DC and Marvel characters as well. Yeah, a few Transformer ones, or many Transformer ones that need to be done, because it's the way it happens. You start one project, then you start another one, and then kind of left with a huge backlog of stuff, which is kind of a good thing because it gives me something to do. If I'm having trouble finding an idea for a stream or whatever, just like pull out an old one and just like do that. Go to town. Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually thinking about getting a new laptop this November, like next month. It's kind of a long time coming, but I'm starting to think that I should speed up the process on getting that, because I've been saying for years now. I've been saying I'll be getting a laptop for years now, because A, it'll help for streaming, and B, there's a new game out that I really want to get. So that's kind of the main thing that's kind of really triggered my desire for a new PC, because not PC, a laptop, because I'm not going to get a new PC anytime soon right now. Just because the laptop's probably better for me, because it'll allow me to do stuff. It'll allow me to play games and stuff like that on my work trips and all that. So rather than hauling my big Xbox with me to hotels and stuff where I stay at most of the time. But yeah, the game I was talking about is Jurassic World, the new one that just came out. Looks like a lot of fun. Looks like it has really cool new features for the park building stuff. So that's what I'm really. It's kind of the main thing that's kind of got my interest right now. I'm trying to stay far away from gameplay though right now, because yeah, the more I see this game, the more I want to pull the trigger on the the laptop I'm looking at right now. So, but I want to wait and see if it'll go on sale next month for Black Friday. So get a better deal on it. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool new features in the game, which I'm really looking forward to. They can you can actually have breeding happening. Like you can actually have the animals make babies. So it's pretty cool. Fuck, stomp it up there. Jesus. All right. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, right now we're just kind of laying in the foundation of with a cool gray zero, and then we kind of see where we want to go with the hair and the skin tones. See which. So I'm thinking about a light, sort of like purple, like a lavender type color for the hair. Just to kind of separate it from the skin tones. But yeah. Like I said, when it comes to white, like very, very light skin, you kind of want to work very, very slowly and take your time with it. Like one step at a time, otherwise you can screw it up. You go too far in some places or not enough in other places, you know. It's kind of a interesting sort of little battle you do in your mind when you're coloring and stuff. Fuck that for me. Fuck you. I don't care about you. Okay, let's move on to a different color now. And I think a blue would be good for hair. Just kind of add a bit of a youthfulness to it. If that makes any sense. But yeah, for December, I think that's when I'm going to be doing the next diorama stream. Actually, just kind of think about that now. Which that'll be the one for Bludgeon on the shelf. Which, if you go back and watch some of my collection tour videos, you kind of know what that means. It's the one shelf that's kind of missing from the top shelf on my display right now. That's the next one I'm going to do. Which I probably could do with the paint I have around. I just need to get some more brushes and stuff. But I think I'm just going to wait until the holidays, because I'll probably have a bit more time to do it. And then we get another collection video going out, because yeah, some things have kind of changed a little bit. So I just got into blockies, actually. And now they're kind of taking over my display. It's kind of been a bit of a monkey wrench in my collection right now. So yeah, I gotta find a new home for that. All right. Okay, let's throw in BB39 or 31. All right. No dried up pens so far. Use it on the skin tone. And then just the fingers now. Hey, Dead Man. Good to see you. Oh, really? In a loud-ass restaurant, huh? Well, I hope you don't have me on speaker then. I'll take everything, waitress. Yeah, it's good to be back for a little bit. It's been way too busy, but I lucked out. I had the day off, so we are drawing Lady Death today. Just to, why not? She's kind of a Halloween kind of character, so kind of works with it today. Yeah, we'll do the face now. Start with the neck. A little bit extra detail there. I think I drew this one on the channel maybe last year, but I just never really got around to finishing it up. So, but I don't know. I start a lot of different projects. I never get around to finishing them. So, but hopefully we can change that this year or this next year coming up. Ooh. And I forgot that a little bit there. And for when I do colors like this, I just kind of follow the original lines I started. And kind of just like do less when I add a darker color. That's kind of the way I operate. That way it kind of flows naturally. I'll do a little here. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Halloween so far. Not really doing anything special this year for me personally. Just everyone's out of town, so no one really celebrating it anyway. So at the moment, so I'm just doing what I normally do, just chilling, drawing, doing stuff. But yeah, like I said about, I was thinking about the with the new phone, is I might be able to set up. I'm trying to see if I can find a way to set up my Xbox to start streaming more, so I can directly stream to YouTube, not Twitch, because I hate Twitch. Especially with what's going on with Twitch right now. There's a lot of like really shady stuff going down. I'm not going to talk about today. It's not really good for that, but I do want to start like streaming a bit more gameplay stuff, just to at least do something. All right, let's go slightly darker shade for the eye specifically, and a little bit of shadows. Let's make sure you're working. Okay, not right up. She has, yeah. Okay, just trying to see some reference. But yeah, I just didn't do a whole lot today. Just watching Daredevil from Netflix, and then yeah, did a little bit of actually played a little bit of Jurassic World this morning. So that was that. Did yeah. And obviously got this stream prepared today, so I've just been chilling all day. It sucks when when you're on the road all the time, and it's just like you finally do get time to yourself. You just kind of like mess around most of the time. At least I do. But hopefully, get something kind of interesting going for Halloween or Christmas this year at least. So I couldn't really do much for Halloween this year. Just a little bit there. All right. Move on to the body. Just being very, very gentle with my usage of this. What was it? Grayish lavender. It's kind of gray, purple. Which I use a lot. I should use a lot for like Raven and stuff like that when I draw her. Because it's good for adding a bit more extra, flair, like in better terms, to the. Because I usually draw the gray-skinned version of Raven from the cartoon rather than her normal pale skin from the comics. So, because I like the animated series version better, just a little bit. All right, that was the one I grew up with. So, all right, let's grab that shadow there. Just a little. But yeah, Daredevil. I've been watching that all day. Season 3 specifically. Still a pretty good show. I still think it would have been cool if Karen actually died in the episode where she confronts Kingpin. There's a whole part where she's trying to, bait him into attacking her and all that by talking shit, basically, about his best friend that she killed in season 1. So I thought it'd been a great place to have her killed off if they wanted to do that. It's like that would have inspired like someone like the Punisher to come in, That'd be kind of a cool scene, in my opinion. But they obviously went their own way with that. So, yeah. All right. Let's do the hair now. Actually, let's kind of blend this a bit more. We'll bring back to 0. Yeah, right now I'm on the Karen episode when we kind of learn more about her backstory. That's kind of the one on right now. Yeah, that old Netflix stuff is just great. It's actually the only stuff I'm really watching now from Marvel is the Daredevil series. And apparently Frank is going to be in the Spider-Man movie with Hulk and all that. So, not too sure how I feel about that right now, but it'll be interesting. I'll say that. I just hope that they bring back real Hulk. I'm just tired of Mark Ruffalo's bullshit Hulk. But it'll be kind of interesting to see Frank Castle meet Spider-Man for the first time in live action, actually. So, because we all know he got to start in those Spider-Man comics. He started out as a villain for Spider-Man, and then he kind of evolved a bit more over time into what we know of him now. But yeah, I still really love John Bernthald's Punisher. So, and actually, kind of a rumor that he might actually be wearing the War Machine suit in this movie. That's a big rumor that's kind of going around. That'd be kind of cool to see. Not gonna lie. I guess would make sense if he's going up against the Hulk, you know. If that is the case in the film, I'm not too sure what the storyline is. I am kind of glad they are kind of getting away from like the multiverse stuff. I'm just sick and tired of it. That's why I didn't really see the new Spider-Man movie. I didn't want to see it. It's the only thing that's really bugging me the most. Actually, it's really the Spider-Man stuff. Actually, I'm most like kind of annoyed with the MCU. It's not been able to connect with Tom Holland's Spider-Man at all. Like Homecoming was okay. Didn't really like how he relied too much on Tony Stark's approval and all that. Like I just didn't really care for a whole lot of that. But I feel like they missed the mark a lot when it came to that next one they did with the Mysterio. Just didn't really feel believable to me for a Spider-Man. Like more specifically, the stuff with Aunt May was what kind of like drew me away from that whole film and that whole version of Spider-Man in general. Was like, you know, this is a different sort of storyline where it's like now Aunt May knows Peter is Spider-Man, you know, and there's not a single scene in the film where she like tries to forbid Peter from being Spider-Man. Like it's just like, and this is like coming off of Endgame where, you know, he supposedly died in that film in the Infinity War, you know, and it's just like you would think that she would be a bit more, you know, overprotected. Like this should have been like full, like she should have gone like full helicopter Aunt May, you know, just like trying to keep him away from doing any of that at all. You know, like that to me should have been the plot of the film, you know. It's like if you are going, it's the problem. That's the problem I have though with like the MCU is they kind of, you know, the whole secret identity thing just doesn't really mean anything anymore. You know, like it's a very important thing about a superhero story. You know, especially for ground level superheroes like Spider-Man. You know, it's like, you know, we see it in Daredevil a lot. You know, the reason why, and you see it a lot, and Daredevil's kind of the best example of that because of how much, you know, you really see why it's so important to keep that stuff secret because, you know, when you go up against powerful characters like the Kingpin or whatever, you know, who have their eyes and ears everywhere, it's just like it's only a matter of time before they use your family and friends against you, you know, like that's why it's important for. And this is a basic, it's the basic understanding of reason why superheroes have secret identities to protect the people they care about, you know. And it's just like I feel like the MCU kind of threw the secret identity stuff and like because I think that a lot of it is just like they just want to make it a joke or whatever, and they just want to, you know, poke fun at superhero tropes sometimes, you know. But it's just like they exist for a reason. There's a reason why superheroes have secret identities. You know, it's like, yeah. And then like the stuff with like the new one with the multiverse stuff, where they brought back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Like, I mean, that would be cool sometime down the road. But I think that when you have like I think it would have been better if Tom Holland's Spider-Man was already a bit more seasoned. I don't know how I would have done that. I don't know if you really, but it's like I don't even think you really need to do that sort of crossover type thing with Spider-Man. Like I don't need to see a million different Spider-Man on fire. That's why I never really got into the whole Spider-Verse thing. It's like just too much, you know. Like I just want a grounded story where it's just, you know, Peter Parker, you know, the way he is, you know. Like I don't need all these extra Spider-Verse characters. I don't need all this extra stuff, and it's just like I feel like it kind of cheapens some of the storytelling a little bit. Like for example, I thought it was so stupid that they had the first time, like just think about this real quick. Like the first time Peter Parker in this universe meets Green Goblin, the Norman Osborn, like he's like the most important villain in his rogues gallery, and it's not even his version of Osborn in his world. Like it's Tobey Maguire's Green Goblin that he meets for the first time and does all this stuff to him. It's just like, I'm just like, no, that's not how it should be. It's like you should have it be where like give give Tom Holland his own fucking villains. Like, stop giving him villains that belong to other people. Like, that was the problem I had with the other films. Is like, Mysterio was inspired by Iron Man to be a villain, and then Toby's just there to kind of clean up the mess, And kind of with Vulture too. I can't remember that movie very well. It's been a while since I've seen Homecoming, but I remember him kind of having issues with Tony Stark as well. But at least then it was actually still personal with Peter, But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, I just feel like this version of Spider-Man just has zero, like, agency of his own. It just kind of feels like he's just telling someone else's story, really. Just, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things that's just weird version of the character, so. Just doesn't really feel as natural flowing as other iterations have been. It almost makes me wish that they did more with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man instead. Like, I don't know why they just do that. Like, just have, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man be part of the MCU just naturally. Like, I'm sure there could be a way you can figure that out, And I know that not everyone likes Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm one of them. I didn't really like the second one, but they had a decent enough of a world building that they could work from, But it's more just like plot points and storytelling that was kind of the issue with that film. Like, I think most of the world building for that second movie could have been salvaged, for a third movie. Because they did plan on doing like the Sinister Six, so that could have been a pretty cool movie, to do. But they just did what it did in the Tobey Maguire movie, which I didn't see. So I don't really know how that story went 100%. I just don't like the very idea of that ever existing, like him having to take villains from different Spider-Man movies and not have his own version of those characters, like his own rogues gallery, Like, he doesn't have his own Lizard, doesn't have his own Doc Ock, doesn't have his own Electro or Sandman or any other characters that he borrows from other movies. It's like, where's your villains, Tom Holland Spider-Man? It's like, I don't know, just. I just had really weird issues. I just had a lot of issues with that version of Spider-Man. All right. Let's move on to the hair now. I've been rambling too much. Well, everyone praises it, because it's Tobey Maguire coming back and Andrew Garfield and all that. And they have all these great moments. It's like, yeah, but I don't think people really think about the implications of the storytelling, and the world building at large. It's just, I really think that people just got onto the hype train of that film, really, rather than actually think about what the implications were for the story at large for this version of Spider-Man. But it's just me. People can like it all they want. It's just not really for me. I'm just not really into that stuff. So hopefully they pivot in a different direction, though. This new movie with Punisher in it. Like, I'll probably go see it anyways, just for John Bernthal, because I love his Punisher. They're doing really cool stuff with him in Daredevil, so which is probably my favorite show Marvel's done. I haven't really seen any of it all at all, so just been turned off by lots of things I've seen from the Other shows. It better be regular Hulk back again, though. I don't want smart, nerdy Banner anymore. I'm done with that. So give me Hulk smash again. Give me the Hulk that fucks shit up. Bring back Ed Norton if you have to. Like, yeah, I still love that old Hulk movie. Actually, the Ed Norton one. All right. But yeah, I'm actually hoping they do a Punisher series though, or a new one rather, like, or a movie. Whichever one would be fine with me. And the villain I want to see actually in that film would be what's his name? Barracuda, like this kind of like guy who's always kind of tormented with Frank in the past and comics and stuff like that. And I'd really love to see them like go full you know like Punisher Max series with the Punisher, like in the next whatever they did with him. I think Barracuda would definitely be the best villain for them to do, honestly. All right, you're running low on there, buddy. Close to the end of this one. Need some more refills for the refills. Just trying to darken that chunk of hair there. Fix that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to season 2 of Daredevil. Because as we know, at the end of the season, Frank actually gets out of the prison, which likely was his plan all along to get captured at the end in the season finale. Because he probably knew about the other vigilantes that got caught by Fisk. So it'll be kind of interesting to see where that story kind of goes. Yeah. I'm hearing that a lot of the Defenders characters actually coming back. I heard Jessica Jones might be coming back. Maybe Iron Fist, maybe Luke Cage, which that's like kind of my main problem with season 3 of Daredevil. It's like, because it's coming off of Defenders season 1, right? And it's just like, why doesn't Daredevil ever reach out to someone like Luke Cage who could just like solve all of his problems right then and there? Like, you put Luke Cage in the room with Fisk's not going to do anything, You try, but yeah. Just saying, he has a lot of strong friends he's not utilizing. But I guess it's just not the Luke Cage show. It's the Daredevil show. But I am hearing they are going to be bringing those characters back. At least I think Jessica Jones is coming back. So that'll be interesting. I haven't seen season 2 of Jessica Jones. We got around to it. I think there was a season 2 of Iron Fist. There's a little bit of season 2 from Luke Cage. I just didn't really finish that. But I might rewatch those shows as well. I find I really enjoy the Netflix series version of the street level characters the most from Marvel. I think to connect with those ones a bit more. It's probably because I'm more used to like characters like Batman and stuff. So they kind of share a lot of those ethos. What was saying, those sort of ideas. Just trying to define some of the dark areas of the hair, make her face pop out a bit more. I'll probably come in with a BV29 or 25 next. Just gonna fill out these cracks, if you will. But yeah, Poindexter actually is the coolest part of the season, actually, of Daredevil Season 3. And apparently he's going to be playing more of a big role in Season 2 of the series, so... Alright. Alright, that's good enough. Let's do a blue. Yeah. Hopefully this one's not dried out. Oh, look at that. Times at 6:44. Hey, CRC. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, it's been a little while. Haven't really been able to stream lately with work. But day off. Found this old sketch in my sketchbook the other day, or my portfolio. So, and yeah, it's Halloween inspired, Lady Death. So we'll work on that for tonight. I originally wanted to do like a Goth Girls DC edition, but just never really got around to it this month. It's been way too busy finishing up other projects and working and all that. So, Watch probably deserves another. Yeah. Yeah, I'd consider coming on to your show if you want. Just kind of depends on the time because, like I said, I work out of town a lot, so it's hard for me to kind of schedule, showings on other people's channels now. But oh yeah, thanks, man. I'll look into that in just a minute. It's hard for me to kind of check things on my old ass computer because everything kind of runs slowly when I try to my stream. So I just do all that stuff at the end of the stream. I'm done. Yeah, it would be. I'd be interested. I'd be okay with dropping by at some point. Sunday, good. We'll see. I usually hang out with my dad on Sundays, so we'll see if I can get around to that. I'll look into it tonight after the stream. See what's going on. So. All right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, just send me a link and I might pop by at some point. All right, let's get some darker colors in here. Oh, looks like it. Yeah, let's fix those shadows here. There we go. There we go. Now it's all lining up. At least starting to. Thanks. Yeah. Not really the biggest. Don't really know a whole lot about Lady Death, actually. I just drew her because I thought she looked cool. So she's a very striking sort of design. So, but yeah, I probably should start looking at the characters I should draw. Yeah. Oop, that looks a little off there. Let's see if I can fix that. Yeah, shit. Let's try. Yeah. Fix it with a highlight at some point. But yeah, actually, I got the blades in the mail the other day from Xtransbots. So probably my least favorite, honestly, of the Protected bots they've released. Now, I've actually, because it was just a very painful process for the transformation. Wasn't really my favorite one to mess with. Let's put it that way. But luckily, he's going to be staying in arm mode when I have defense or all combined up. So I'm using MMC for bot modes. So yeah, he's been Dinobots. Yeah. No, we don't have snow just yet, but we're probably getting there pretty soon. So I know that Bonneville has a lot of snow now. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, it's actually been pretty decent actually lately. Not been too cold out so far. Yeah, I heard Galvatron's coming pretty soon. Yeah. I think Fans Toys also is releasing a new Galvatron as well. So I haven't decided which one I'd want to go for because I do kind of want to get a second Galvatron. Just because I'm working on doing a new room. I kind of mentioned this before. I'm kind of working on a new room layout, and just so that I can incorporate season 3 and 4 characters into my collection. Because right now I can't do that because there's not enough space for them. So right now it's just season 1, 2, and the movie. So, but the idea is going to be to kind of clean out the room here a bit more, make room for more shelves, and then go from there. And you know, the whole idea is to have 2 full Billy bookcases from IKEA, and that'll be for season 3 and 4. And on the Autobot side, I want to have Rodimus Prime on the top shelf, and then Galvatron on the other side. That's kind of why I want to have 2 Galvatrons, because that way I can kind of have the villain and hero of the season 3, 4 shows kind of symmetrical in a way on the shelf. That makes sense. That's kind of why I want to do a second Galvatron. But yeah, that's kind of my plan, anyways. And obviously, the plan also will include 2 more shelves right next to me, actually. That'll be for City Bots. So yeah, that's kind of that's where I'm at right now. But I'm probably not going to be able to get around to the expansion till next year, just because I've been really busy with other things. Because last month I was actually really into doing spray paint art, so that's kind of why I haven't really been a whole lot active here on YouTube, because I can't really stream stuff outside, at least not right now, or know how to, because I just got a new phone, so maybe I can figure that out. But I'd have to wait until like summertime and spring and all that before, because you have to do, because of spray paint art, you want to do it when it's hot out because it helps dry the paint faster. But I'm not too sure if it'll be safe. I gotta look into whether or not it's safe to actually do spray paint art in the summer, because we get a lot of wildfires here. So I gotta look into whether or not it's a good idea to do that this time when it comes to summertime. But who knows? We'll just wait and see. If not, I'll have to just wait back until next year, September or August and all that. It's probably the better op, because actually it's been really good this fall. Actually, it's been pretty decent with the wildfires actually this year. Hasn't been too bad. Not as bad as last year and the year before that. You know, because that was like when the wildfires were like just fucking crazy. You know? Yeah, I did see that. I did see the Scorponok. Yes, 4 feet. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I saw all that stuff on TFCon. I should have streamed my reaction to all that, but I just didn't. I was just too busy that day. But yeah, I did see what they're releasing. Fans Toys are doing they're also doing like a broadside now too. It'll be kind of interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if Fans Toys actually fast tracks their Fort Max as well. Just to compete, you know. But yeah, a lot of interesting stuff that happened. Not a whole lot actually, honestly, because I was kind of disappointed with Fans Toys' announcements because they're already characters we already have, like with the Dots and Bullet Bros. Which look good. They look all right, but I don't really feel a need to swap out my Carbots. I already have the MP ones. I don't really need the new ones, even though they are probably a lot better looking. But yeah, I'm not the kind of guy that just swaps just because it's better looking. Like, just I don't know. I'm a very, very content person. Let's put it that way. Like, I don't need the next best thing of everything in the collection. Like, my main goal is to kind of get the whole cast right, first and foremost, and then maybe potentially swap here and there. But yeah. But actually, I got the blast off from Magic Square on the way now. Just got the shipping notification from Shozi, so yeah. I heard X Transbots is doing a hook this December, or I thought it was this December or in January is when I heard him. What bot would you like that hasn't been done yet? Ooh. Well, there's a bunch of bots I'd like to see, but if I were to pick one, it would probably be Alita 1, just because the likelihood of these companies actually doing the Fembot crew would probably be very, very slim. But yeah, I would like to see like Alita 1, Chromia, and all them. Alpha Trion would be really cool. Yeah, all the combiner teams that we haven't done obviously would be on that list, like Predacons and Terracons, Seacons, lots of different characters I'd like to see more of. But apparently they are getting some Seacons from Craftsman Toys, the guys that did that Legend Scale Computron. Like, they're doing a masterpiece set of Seacons. They're very, very stylized. So, we are doing Albatron. Nice. Yes. Yeah, that'll be nice to have, actually. Because that's one card that they never really do a whole lot of, So, yeah. But it would make sense to go with the Orion packs. Actually, if you aren't doing Alpha Trion, I would say give him the young and old version of his face. Because remember, he had there was a couple of flashback episodes in an old cartoon where we see a younger Alpha Trion. So that'd be kind of a cool little feature to have, like, have a young Alpha Trion with like Orion packs on a shelf. You know what I mean? And that's how I would do that. And speed things up. It's 6:57. Jesus. Jesus. I'm still doing the hair and skin. That's okay. All right, just gonna bring in some. Actually, no, I'll bring in my BV-25, which I hope is still kicking it. Okay, we're good. I was confused for a minute. Just gonna add some like deeper shadows here, and then we'll move on to other things. I can always come back to the hair and all that and just tidy it up. But I want the suit going as well, which is not much because it's just a bra and a cape. So yeah. But yeah, like Sandstorm would be really cool to see as well. Like, there's not a whole lot of love for Sandstorm. Like, the only one we have right now is just the Unique Toys one, which is it was good for its good for its time, but I think that we probably could use an upgrade nowadays. Ooh. There we go. All Oh, we're cooking. Yeah, not sure. Not sure I'm going to be going in on the 4 feet tall Titan bots just yet. I have to really think about that for the space I got. Sent me something on X. All right, so check that out real quick. I promise not to share it on stream. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, I know that they did a little. Yeah, I saw that prototype. Yeah, I've seen it for a while now. Yeah. Hopefully, you're telling me this now, though, because they are reviving that model at some point. Actually, the ones that have been in limbo the most, actually, recently, they've actually been the Nightbeat and the Minerva have also been kind of yeah. I actually have because I have them both fully paid for right now. You know, I have both of them fully paid for. Some kind of I don't understand why it takes so long to make those ones. They're just car bots, but I don't know. I'm not in the business, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, it's kind of weird that these ones are taking kind of forever to come out. But yeah, I guess they're just kind of really busy with their combiners, so and their target masters and all that. So. Love cars, so he takes his time in the car and bought it look good. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, makes sense to me. Okay. But actually, how's the hotspot doing? Like, is there an ETA on how he's doing, or when we can expect him? Or I'm going to assume next year is when hotspot's coming out, right? Makes the most sense to me. Ooh, shit, a little too far there. I'll fix that later. Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm thinking about picking up 2 of those actually. One for bot mode and one for combined mode because not really happy with the proportions on the MMC version of Hotspot, which I don't have. I've been kind of waiting for extra transbots for a while now because so I saw I remember seeing the old like leaked images of him, and I like those proportions a lot better than the Mastermind creations. So I kind of want to do both for bot and combined mode, but I don't know. I might wait a little bit though. I might just get the one because there's a company out there that's doing these fill-in upgrade kits for combiners, like for Fans Toy specifically, and a few other companies. But they did what they did. So I actually have one. I have the one for Superion, but they have faux arms and legs and a back filling piece, and it allows you to complete Superion without having to buy a whole other set of aerial bots. You can just have the aerial bots separate, like on a shelf by themselves, and you can have Superion already formed on a different shelf. That's kind of so now it's not the best painted stuff. It's probably something. It's probably what I'm doing a lot with the spray paint. I was kind of mentioning is I'm probably going to do some extra customization on that because the paint isn't exactly 100% lining up with the Fans Toys paint on their Superion, but it still looks pretty good on a shelf, though. Like you don't really notice it. Like you don't really notice it as like, fake sort of parts for him. So the reason why I'm kind of holding out is I'm waiting for because I imagine they'll probably do an upgrade kit for X Transbot's Defensor, and so then I can just buy that whole kit instead of buying a second hotspot. But I don't know. We'll see. Only problem with that would be I'd have extra limbs and stuff like that hanging out because I already have the other 4 bots. So yeah, it's a little bit too much there. That's okay. We'll fix that later. There's a little bit of color here. Not too much, just enough to kind of connect it all. That makes sense. Oh no, what I meant was there's this company that does upgrades for other third-party companies. So they made a back fill-in piece for Superion, as well as like extra arms like that are based off of Fans Toys arm bots. So they took, I don't know how they did it, obviously, but they basically made it so that you could have Superion without having to complete the rest of the team. Like you don't have to actually combine any of the other limb bots. You can just have because with the Superion from Fans Toys, it comes with the torso unit, it comes with the feet, and it comes with a few the hands and all that. And so the kit I got allows you to kind of complete that set without the other Fans Toys offerings of the aerial bots because they have 3D print of the arms and legs. So yeah, yapping. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. With the Fans Toy stuff. It is. So I'm so that's why I'm kind of holding out, maybe waiting for. Oh, he's in Burnaby. Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Burnaby because they have a really cool Transformer store there. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. They have the extra arms and legs for Superion. They did so. And so I'm just kind of waiting to see if they'll actually have, if they'll do Defensor from Next Transplant, like they'll do an upgrade of that. If they'll make a fill-in piece for that. That's all I really need, though. Honestly, I just need a fill-in piece for the back. But if it's the same price, but the only problem will be if it's the same, if it's a higher price than just buying another hotspot. Like, it just kind of depends on if it's going to be cheaper. Just buy the hotspot or separately, another hotspot, or just buy the combiner kit. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. All right. We'll kind of move on from the hair now, so I get the rest of the body here. Oh, maybe you that's dying. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Because they just did one for Craftsman Toys. Actually, they did another one for their legend scaled Technobots, and they made this like uh, upgrade kit so you can actually separate the limbs and all that, so you have a display with the combined mode and with the individual bot modes. So if they're going to do Craftsman Toys and Fantasy Toys, they'll probably end up doing extra transbots as well. So. Oh, you know what I should have done with this one to make it more Halloween-esque? Because I should have made the skulls pumpkins instead of regular skulls. That's one thing I should have done. Just a little bit differently, just have a little bit more fun with it. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Oof. Yes, I might not have this option here. This is kind of like glove that kind of only covers one finger. And it's the middle finger, so yeah. She wants you to know she's flipping you off. You know? There's no confusion at all. She's pissed off at you. All right. Trying to figure out what I want to do with the lighting for the costume here. So I'm kind of leaving some stuff blank. Yeah, cool looking. I don't mind that. Yeah. But yeah, the Fans Toys actually announced a broadside actually as well over the weekend, which is it looks good. I actually think that I like the one from Zeta or O1 Studios, they're called now, a little bit better, at least for bot mode. I think that in vehicle modes, however, I think Fans Toys kills it for their broadside. And they really nailed the vehicle modes. Robot mode looks good too, but I gotta see how tall it is because I can't go too big with broadside because I'm trying to fit broadside in one shelf, but I'm not too sure if it's gonna work just yet. However, a cool display would actually be to put broadside in his ship mode and then just put some legends on top of them. Yeah, his battleship mode might be a better option there. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's better. All right. Okay. Yeah, they are doing both the they're doing both of the versions of the broadside design. There's a different look in the Japanese cartoon and a different version in the American cartoon. So yeah, that's pretty cool what they're doing with that. We're just throwing in some black now to bring it home, so to speak. All right. I think I like that better. And sometimes you just need to go black out, like full on black for some things. Sometimes it just looks cooler. Yeah, I like that better. Rather than just trying to do some crazy like variant or gradient with the blacks. Sometimes you just need to do all black. It just looks sharper. That's why I always start off with like this dark purple here at first. Just kind of get a feel for what I want from it before I go all the way, so to speak. As well as true where I want the actual, like the harsher blacks to kind of go before I go all the way, so to speak again. Hey. Yeah. I should make a comic book. We'll see. Don't really have an idea in mind right now. I've had a few ideas over the years, but just nothing really stuck with me. But yeah, I guess I could try doing that Jurassic prison idea I had. Where the whole idea is that like it's kind of like a Jurassic World sort of spoof or whatever, where it's like, you know, maybe they just discover this one island full of dinosaurs, or it could be a Jurassic Park thing where they engineer dinosaurs. But I think it'd be more interesting if it was just like an island that was just like cut off from the world. You know, with dinosaurs on it, and then just these rich guys decide, you know what, let's throw all the prisoners here, see what happens. You know. Then maybe like one character, like the main character would have to be someone who isn't fully guilty, like he's not. It would have to be like a petty crime that he commits, like he's not like a serial killer or a rapist or whatever. Grapist, sorry, YouTube. Grapist, because I can't say words apparently on YouTube. But yeah, it'd have to be like the main character would have to be like someone who's not like a shitbag, you know, or for it to kind of work, because you can't really. I don't know. It's like because otherwise, I'm not going to care. You don't care about the characters dying, you know, in the film, in the story. If all characters that people are bad people, you know. Oh, need the arm. Dummy. Because you know, I could care less if a serial killer gets killed by a T-Rex. You know, it's like, hey, feed the dinosaurs. But just a regular run-of-the-mill sort of a thief or something like that, just got convicted of something they shouldn't have been convicted for, and just sent to a dinosaur prison to die. You know. Yeah. That was my ingenious idea. But problem is I don't know how to draw dinosaurs very well. That's the only problem. I can draw Dinobots. So I've done a couple of Grimlocks, but I have to really like put my focus into drawing dinosaurs. I want to be accurate too, like real life dinosaurs, like not like Jurassic Park style, like shit. Like I want to be kind of based more on real dinosaurs, you know, the way they are scientifically, you know. At least for what we know so far, because there's still a lot we don't know. But I think that's kind of one of the reasons why, like Jurassic Park, is kind of kind of dwindled as a franchise over the years. Like the new movie was just kind of dumb. Like it just wasn't really all that. Didn't really have any spark to it at all. You know, like even though the Jurassic World films like weren't all that great, at least had a spark of something there. You know, at least the first movie, anyways. The last two were kind of just like meh for the Chris Pratt movies, but yeah, this new one was just kind of boring. Like I just didn't care about any of the characters. You know. Let's see. Should I do you? Nope, because you're dead. This side. Yeah, you're dead. Find a way to revive that pen. Or just replace it. That would be a good option. Yeah. I like the purple for highlight here. Thanks, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I just have to really learn how to draw dinosaurs, though, if I was to do a dinosaur-based comic book. Because I would want them to be kind of scientifically accurate. All right, see you in a minute. Because, I think that's kind of one of the reasons, that's part of the reason why I think that the Jurassic World film, it's one of the reasons why it fell apart or it's kind of just been in limbo. Because, the first Jurassic Park films, they kind of came at a time where things were still fragmentary when it comes to dinosaurs. For the time, most of the dinosaurs there were relatively accurate. Like T-Rex was okay. Brachiosaurus was okay. But then you get stuff like raptors and all that. Like they were all completely wrong because, well, not all raptors, but Velociraptor specifically was not what the films presented at all. Raptors were a lot smaller, or Velociraptors, because there are larger raptors, but those are like stuff like Dakota and Utah raptors. But Velociraptor was just like the size of like a turkey. Like it was a really small guy, and the feathers obviously was another thing. He's like, but at that time it wasn't really known. It was kind of one of those things where it wasn't clear whether or not it had feathers or not. But nowadays we know for sure that they do have feathers. So. Actually, the movie I want to see right now actually is that Primitive War movie. I see trailers for it. I just don't know how to watch it because I'm just waiting for it to come on digital because, apparently it came out but now it's like not in theaters anymore. I don't know, maybe it like just bombed or something. I can't remember. But that movie looks actually pretty interesting, where it's kind of based in the Vietnam War and stuff. But yeah, aside from I don't know, there's a lot of stuff in the Jurassic Park films that are just not really accurate scientifically. Even though T-Rex's design is okay, it's okay for its time, but it's obviously a little bit different now. T-Rex would have been a lot more robust, a lot more beefier, like a fat. Like it was like it's a lot more fatter sort of animal than the film kind of portrayed, because it was doing the whole shrink wrap thing where it's basically just put skin on top of the bones for the animation. But no, there'd be like gullets in some of these animals. There'd be fat in certain places here and there, you know, like it wouldn't just be like a straight on forward. It wouldn't just be like a totally streamlined animal. It would have like, you know, extra stuff hanging off of them. Notification from eBay. But actually, speaking of packages, like just arrived. Actually, I got a team order today, and I got a bunch of like diorama supplies, but also got like I'll show real quick. I got a bunch of these extra like sea coral sort of plants and stuff like that, because now a lot of this stuff might be a little too big when I first got them. So, but yeah, we'll see, because this is meant for this is what I was kind of talking about earlier about the diorama up, or the collection expansion, is that you know, I mentioned earlier I'd probably do a thing for Seacons. So, and with Seacons, you'd probably want to have them underwater. So for that, I'd probably do a underwater diorama. So I got a bunch of these different you know, underwater sort of plants and stuff like that. But I also got grab it. It's tucked in there real good. I got one of these things. This is an airbrush from Temu. It's one that has a built-in air compressor, which is just charging right now because you have to charge it with USB. But yeah, this is something I really want to try out, is actually just using airbrushing for, you know, for different customization things, maybe even for diorama work. So I've seen people like Bobby Skullface use it for dioramas and stuff like that, like for shadows and extra things like that. So this might be a really big deal for the dioramas coming in the near future, hopefully. But I haven't tested it out just yet, though. I'm still waiting for the thing to charge up. But I do have a few extra colors that I bought. Silver, gold, black, and white to test out. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on, hopefully in this next year. And also, it'll make things easier to stream, actually. It'll be easier to kind of stream airbrushing now because it's a portable thing. But and some people might say, oh, you should get like a more professional one. But I'm of the belief that you should, when you're trying something new, go cheap, because you don't want to start something that you might not like. You might not, it might not stick with you, you know. And so I kind of just like, you know, like for example, with alcohol-based markers like Copics, I actually started off with the Artist Loft pens from Michaels, just so I could understand how Copics work, even if they weren't the best quality. I at least know how to use them, like those kinds of markers, anyway. So because I had an experience of knowing how to use or of learning how to use something, I could. That's where I was able to make a transition into Copics now. So yeah, see, I got a lot of stuff going on right now. So. And also just another extra skill you kind of add to your arsenal. And I'm also thinking about using them for customizing some of the blockies, which I have actually one, which is a really cool looking one, actually. I got this new one from the new set, which is a kind of a half prime, half like death of prime or death mode sleep mode prime, where you have the gunmetal gray and they have the red and blue. And the reason why I want to do customization is because I have a lot of the we got a lot of duplicate figures from the blind boxes, so might as well make the best of them or make good use of them and kind of customize them. Like I have extra jazz on my turns, like Ricochet or something. I can make a few that are like kind of based on like Shattered Glass and all that. Like, yeah. Because the great thing about Transformers is that they have a million different color schemes. So. Yeah, I'll probably try testing out the airbrush tonight. See how that goes. So, yeah. I'll move on to the skulls now. And we'll do the gold. And we'll do the reds on the cape. Just notice that. I want to at least get the bulk of the colors here done before we do the background, which will probably just be like a basic sort of a background here. I'm not going to go too crazy with it because don't really have the space to do a whole lot with it. So not quite yet. Or I just hit the edges here, so I'll probably just like the basics like red or something like that. Or pink, maybe. Actually, a pink would be good. Green, maybe. We'll see. We shall see. Okay. And try to pull some warm gray actually for shadow the gold. Just a minute. Yeah, I think this would have been really cool as pumpkins instead of skulls here, just for the Halloween vibe. But yeah. I was using this is an older piece, so I didn't really think about it too much. Next time, though. All right. There we go. All do some warm grays. I usually do warm grays for like yellows and reds. Like I usually, when it comes to like doing warm or doing gray tones, I usually kind of have in my mind, I have an idea of which colors I use, which gray types of gray. Because there's 3 different types of gray, or 4 different types of grays. There's toner grays, there's neutral grays, there's cool grays, and then there's warm grays. And for warmer colors like yellow, like red or brown, I usually will use warm grays. But for stuff like green and blue, I'll usually, or sometimes, well, it depends on the type of green, because sometimes there's like a very like murky, military sort of green, you know. So for that stuff, I'd probably use like warm grays, kind of add to the, you know, rustic, not rustic, but the you know, weather sort of vibe of that. But like regular like green colors, like England black for, I'd probably use you know, cool grays for green and blues, obviously. And then sometimes I'll do cool gray for red. It all depends, and obviously purple and stuff like that. Well, it kind of depends on the, you know, it kind of depends on what you're drawing, actually. It's lots of different variables when it comes to drawing and coloring and all that. All right. Okay. Let's do a slightly darker one now. Just make it pop out a bit more. Not too much. This one's like it's grinning. Oh, that's like a cheeky little grin there. It's like, hey, what's up? One thing about skulls, they always look happy for some reason. All right. And we'll just do a little bit of the yellow. Just gonna blend that in a bit more. Get a bit more natural. And I'm gonna black that out right there. So it's weird there. Sticking out. All right. And I'll leave that. Now. All right, we can move on to the reds. We'll use really dark reds here. I'll grab the nails and lips while we're here. Okay. Make sure you're still functioning. So I drop downside to using Copics. Sometimes they'll dry up on you. If you leave them in a very, very dry sort of place. It's kind of annoying. Especially because of how expensive they are, you know. But you can probably, but there's a few places in town I can kind of find that sell them cheaper, and also online. There's a few stores online that actually sells them for a pretty good price, and you also get free shipping if you. It's called like Club Copacabana or something like that. But they do sell like, I think it's an actual direct Copic store, and you actually buy them for a big discount, and you can also get free shipping if you spend a certain amount of money. So yeah, these are Copic markers. Yeah, these are all Copics. I bought a set of 72 markers, or I think they were the Shao markers. I got them from Japan, actually. And yeah, it's been on them ever since. Never really looked to any other brands. Even though I am aware of a lot of them, like Uhu markers, and I think there's a couple new ones out there. But I just haven't really tried them out yet. I've already gotten so many Copics, like I just don't really feel the need to swap out. But we'll see. Like I just want to darken it just a little bit more. Cardinal. Let's try this guy. Yeah, I did try a digital painting once. I just didn't really like it very much. Like, they all came down to like making. I just couldn't really get used to the drawing pad because I mean it might have just been the drawing pad I was using. Maybe if I used like an actual like tablet, because like I can't draw looking down. I can't draw looking up at a screen, you know, because the one I had was just like a black drawing pad. And I can't draw like that. I need to actually be looking at the things I draw, you know, just personally. But also, like just doing all the different layers on Photoshop or whatever program is just kind of it's tedious to me. Like this is just much more comfortable for me, just like drawing in real time. I can change things up here and there. I mean, I can't change things up on a whim, but I do have contingency plans for that. Because I do have the original inks for it right here. So if I ever make a mistake here, I can always pull this back up put it on a light pad or light box or whatever, and then I just retrace it, redraw it, and start over. Which it is a bit of a process, obviously, especially if it is a big mistake. But little mistakes like these little seepages into the skin, I can fix really quick, really easily with a jelly roll. So it's not a big deal to me. So I just like physical drawing. I just like to potentially have the physical copy of something I draw. It feels more satisfying when you complete it. I can't really explain it very well. It feels more real. If that makes sense. Like I did that. Especially since with AI now, especially, it's really easy to have your art stolen or taken from. Which now there are some countermeasures happening with a lot of these like websites that kind of will it'll protect your art from a lot of these AI art companies and all that, or programs or what have you. So. Yeah. All right. So let's start the background now. And I don't know. I don't even know if I need a background for this one though. I think the white looked very sharp over there, but let's see. I think green might be a good color though to do with her. Let's see. So we get a reference for the character. I guess some ideas. So I'm used to Photoshop and layers, but drawing with a Hungry Boy and drawing in the past, I'm used to paper, but I like drawing on my screen tablet too. Yeah, I just could not get used to drawing on the tablet. At least the one I use, I didn't really like it, but I wouldn't be opposed to using like Photoshop to just like fix up original inks and then reprinting that to color it afterwards. But yeah, not really into it. Digital coloring and inking and all that. I like doing all that on my own. Also, I have whiteout. It saves my ass a lot when it comes to inking. And trying to decide if I want to do a background at all for this one. I think it looks sharp, but just like this. I don't think it really needs a background when I'm looking at it. Let's see. I'm gonna leave it like this. I think it looks better like this. Just like plain old white background. It's just fine. All right. We can move into the touch-ups now. So I'll add an extra pink layer. I don't know why I want to do that, but I will. I like to add an extra layer of pink or orange sometimes to like reds, because it helps add a vibrance to the colors underneath, if that makes sense. The way the way Copics work, it's not like you just color on top of something. The color changes just a little bit when you apply a different shade to it, the way it blends and all that. like it'll basically reactivate the inks you just laid down, and then that will kind of transform into a different sort of shade of that color as you're going. So yeah, all right. I'll start by my markers out of the way. We're pretty much done with that. I just need to go in and touch up the inks. And as you can see, I kind of keep it very, very light and loose with the inks for when I do the colors, because I know after doing this for a long time, I know that I will be going back and doing inks after I color it, because sometimes the colors will overlap or overpower the inks a little bit. So, shit. Okay. Put you guys in a mug for now. Just pick up 4. That's the last thing I do. All right. So let's see. Red, purple, maybe gold. No yellow. I'm flying. All right. I'll make my jelly rolls. Let's see. Yep, that'll work. And let's see. I'll do my highlights first, and then I'll do my inks. Yeah. And maybe you. We'll leave these guys alone. The reds alone, actually. Okay. And just going through and adding some extra highlights to the hair. Just kind of make it pop out a bit more. Yeah, they actually are pretty expensive, actually. But they are really. It is worth it to me, because there's a lot. They're very professional markers. I'll see if I can grab a link to that site I was talking about. I'll just post it in the chat, because they do have them for a bit cheaper. Copic. I'll try Copic, see what that gives me. Let's do that. There it is. But like most stores will sell like one sketch marker will be about, let's see, last time I was there, I think it was like $9, $8, $9, sometimes $10. And it depends on the store, obviously, but I know for a fact that refills though are like $12 a pop. But right now, just see how just trying to see the current. But right now on the website, it's $7 for a refill. And then see a sketch markers. Single. Okay, so the sketch markers are a little bit more expensive than. Okay, so that's like $8 or $9 for sketch markers. I think they're a little bit more expensive in most stores, or probably like $10 maybe. I haven't been to one in a while, but I know that they are a little more expensive. So. Here. I just posted in the chat, so if you want to check them out, there's that. It's also good because you can grab markers that, because sometimes the stores won't have all, like the one store I go to the most for Copics, they won't always have the refills you want. But the website usually will have most of them in stock. So. All right, just trying to figure out. Let's cover that. But yeah, that's where I get most of my Copics from, especially if I need to get like a whole bunch, you know. Leo Kaiser, holy shit. Yeah. I mean, for me, generally, I like the combiners to be all relatively the same height, personally. Just because I think it looks better, just because in a collection, because then there's not a whole lot of variety in size. I think that some things should be a bit more uniform than others, but it's just me. Yeah, it's a good place to kind of look for Copics for a better price, you know, because a lot of local stores will be a lot more expensive than online stores. And if you spend a certain amount of money, I think it's like 50. If you spend more than $60, you get free shipping. So, yeah. Don't really know if I have a spot. I'll have a spot for Leo Kaiser though in the expansion of the collection, because I already have a lot of characters already reserved for when the expansion happens. So, but yeah, we'll see. We shall see. And this area needs to be cleaned up a bit. Oh, let's grab this out actually real quick. Oh wow, I feel honored then to know that. Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah. But yeah, but you still know that I'm holding out for a Predaking though. That's the main combiner. Like if I could only have one more combiner, it would be Predaking. So that's the main one I'm really hoping to do. I still want Zeta to come back and do theirs. Like I know they're not. I know they kind of canned that one, but I still want to see them bring it back. But yeah, now that but it seems like there is going to be big. There is kind of a big push for season 3 and 4 now. You know, we have Technobots coming from both Bingo Toys and Fans Toys now, as well as Craftsman Toys, and they could always do the same thing Magic Square did, where they could upscale that one into a combiner as well if they wanted to. You know, so I'd love to see that more with some of these like legend scaled companies actually do some more upscaling. Because those Magic Square Combaticons are really fucking awesome. Like I haven't had any issue with any of them, to be honest. And actually, I have the Blast Off on the way now. And it's probably the fastest like combiner team like turnaround ever. You know, in third party history. You know. And they're just now like TFC's just now finishing off their Terracons. It's kind of funny. Because they just released their Hunger. Oh, let's just fix up the cheeks here. Okay. Tidy up so bit here. Just gonna streamline our lady here. And it'll grab the breast, so to speak. There we go. Not in that way. No. Old ass pen. All right. Oh, yeah. Let that dry for a good minute. And I'll pick up my. I don't need my poskers at all. I just pulled them out because I might have needed them, but yeah, I think I need it for this one. Less is more sometimes. I can start by my copies away because I like to let the Uniball or jelly rolls kind of dry for a bit before I do anything. Don't want to smear. They're all numbered on my thing here. A whole rack full of them. You have a couple of airbrushes. Oh, they do. Yeah, I think I heard about. I might have seen that. I just never really messed around with it. What's that? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, so they do have an airbrush. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's been a while since I've been on the website, but yeah. My main goal really right now with my Copics is actually just to buy all the refills for all the markers I do have currently before I buy any new colors at the moment. Like my main goal is just to get refills or get new markers of ones that have been ruined because like this one specifically better is like all dried out, like there's nothing coming out. So now for those ones you can either fix by either applying alcohol to it. Sometimes you can fix it by adding new ink to it. Or you can just remove the nibs and get replacement nibs and then refill it with the right color, which I might be able to do with this one. Yeah, this one will come out nicely. So if worst comes to worst, I can do that. I think I have a few. I might have a few extra nibs laying around somewhere. Just to find them. Yeah, multiple markers. Yeah, there's a lot of different markers on there. Yeah. Oh, that's a different. Oh, okay. Extras down there. Okay. I think I can see it. Yeah, I sort of know based on their colors, like all my greens and blues and yellows all together, and they're all in the same place. That way I know which one I'm grabbing, you know. So I'm not in like a mad dash for them. You off to the side. Put you guys back. What's going on? What the hell? Stay in there. Asshole. Alright. Alright. Let's see. I actually use these Faber-Castell FM pens for my main inks, like most of the time, because they're kind of like a hybrid almost of like a brush and like a nib. You can kind of see like the way it kind of works here, and I like it because it's a bit more controlled sort of brush stroke. Other brush pens like Pentel's, I use them sometimes too. But I feel more comfortable using one of these guys. Just kind of going in and sort of redrawing the lines, just kind of make it more bold, make it stand out more. And it kind of creates a nice, clean sort of look. So I might go in with some gray tones later. Yeah, it is nice to kind of get back to drawing though, because just haven't really had a lot of time to really work on anything. I think the last stream I did was the Star Sapphire one. It was the last one I did, which was a couple months ago. So I did a bunch of diorama streams, and then I did my spray paint stuff, all that. I'll leave these stuff. I leave the smaller bits for my regular pens, but for like stuff like hair and clothing and all that, like I'll use this guy for. Or these little small like skull faces and all that. Yeah. Well, I'm actually kind of considering going back and redoing the Unicron one. Not fully, just go back and touch up the. I don't know, it just doesn't look as like complete as I more look at that shelf. But yeah. But the next one we'll be doing will probably be during Christmas time, because I don't have a whole lot of work that time of the year. So I am going to take advantage of that and do some streaming. And that diorama is going to be for the bludgeon shelf, which is right above my Decepticons on the skinny billies. And it's gonna be kind of like based on like kind of like a feudal, like an old school like a really old sort of like temple sort of thing from like China, Japan, or I can't remember what the one I was doing was, but hold on. But the reason why I chose that is because the way that shelf is laid out is kind of meant to mirror the Autobot shelf, because I have like Drift and Windblade on one shelf, and I put Nightbird with Bludgeon in their shelf, because they're kind of like the samurai ninja type characters. So I kind of have them kind of on opposite sides of each other on the display. So on the shelves rather. So it's gonna be kind of like a forest sort of diorama, basically, or a bamboo forest, because I got a bunch of bamboo trees. So there's gonna be China based. So. But yeah, I think it's pretty much ready to go almost. But I'm just waiting for December, because I won't have anything else to do diorama wise for a little bit. I could do Jetfire. I could do his shelf, but the problem is I don't have Jetfire in the building, so to speak. I don't have a Jetfire yet, so I need to make sure that space I have for him will actually fit him. So. Because if it doesn't, I'll have to reshape or rearrange the Fembot shelf above him, which that actually might be getting removed as well. I might get rid of the Fembot shelf, the current one anyways, because I might put the future Fembots on a different shelf at some point. But I decided where. That's the problem with being doing dioramas, though, is like you have to be like a fortune teller in order to pull those off, because you gotta, hope to God that they make a certain type of character or a group of characters, you make them, and hope to God they actually fit on the shelf you're making. Like, that's kind of the same problem I have with the broadsides right now. So I need to know the size of them before I can actually decide to go in on them, so to speak. Oh, really? Yeah. I don't have the Takara one, so I wouldn't be the best guy to ask for that. Just going in and touching up the hair inks here. So yeah. And that should be it pretty soon here. Pretty much done with this guy. Oh no, the eyes and the eyebrows need to be the small stuff. Yeah. Not out of the woods yet, buddy. But you know what a cool one would be if X Transbot did it? I'd really love to see him do like a paddles, like from like I'd really love to see him like do like really obscure stuff like that, like characters like that. I think paddles would be really fucking cool in the masterpiece because the only paddles we ever got was I think the Planet X one was the only one we got from the for the Dinobots. I think that'd be a really cool one to see them do. One problem with that though is paddles. Paddles. Hold on. Yeah. I think paddles would be a really cool one to do because it's a very, very obscure. I can't remember if he was in the Marvel comics or it was something else. It might have just been it might have been one of those like convention exclusive. It might have been like a comic from like a convention type thing. I can't remember where he came from, but yeah, that'd be a really cool character to see done in masterpiece scale. Also, Deluxe Insecticons that would be kind of cool as well. It's like random characters that never really were in the cartoon, but were toys, you know. Okay, can move on from that. And let's kind of fill in the eyes a bit more. I'm a guy. Yeah. Out of the way, asshole pin. All right. Might be a little too much there. Shit. Easy fix. Let that dry for a minute. I'll just touch up the skull while waiting. Also, if I would recommend, actually, with the Orion packs coming out, actually, I think you could probably make a Dion repaint and retool of that one. I think that'd be a smart decision for Keith to do as well. Just a thought, you know. So they're pretty much they're pretty similar in terms of like build and all that. So it'd be a really easy way to get that character, you know. But I'm actually really glad that the Redgar is coming back. I actually got my pre-order in as soon as I saw that on Show Z. Because I think I could not find a single one on eBay that was at a good price. Like even AliExpress was like putting them on for like $400 or $800 or something like that. Like it was expensive. So I'm glad that he's coming back so I can buy him for a bit cheaper. So I do have plans to do it's a goofy looking skull. Yeah, well. But I am really excited to get a Redgar finally. Get the so I do have plans for Junkie on Shelf at some point. On Shows Store, KFC is putting out a new a reissue of their Redgar. So it's cool then. So finally get to do them because I do. Only problem right now is that I just because on my bookshelf where I have my movie Decepticons and all that, the rest of the year for a Mexican. Okay, yeah. I thought I read somewhere though that Hook was supposed to come out this year, but I'm guessing it's gonna be first thing. But I'm guessing it's gonna be part of the I guess January release. Because that's what I heard. I heard somewhere in on the forums, but yeah. But it's kind of good if it's coming out a little bit afterwards because you kind of chill out on the wallet. My wallet break. So. Yeah, all right. Let's do the lips. Make her smile. Pop out just a bit more. Yeah, right now the spot where I have my my movie shelf, I'm gonna have both the Junkions and the Quintessons like right below Galvatron, like the Galvatron shelf, like because that way the whole bookcase can be all 86 movie characters. But right now I have all my blocky stuff there, like these guys. Yeah, they're all taking up that space right now. So. So I gotta find a new spot for them before I can do a full shelf for both those characters. So groups, because it was kind of like they went the blockies it came out at such a weird time for me because like I had a huge plan in mind, and then they just came in with a huge monkey wrench because they're really fun little figures to mess around with, you know. So I was like, I have to get them. You know, it screws up my plans a little bit, but it's okay. I have a few ideas for how I'm gonna do them. Yeah, I really love these guys. They're like a lot of fun to kind of mess with. So they're kind of like a very like more simplified version of like a model kit. So. Yeah, they're very, very creative with the way they do things. So, my movie minute, Tini for nice, yeah. All right. Let's see. Still trying to decide if I want to do a full background or a background for this or not. Fully decide if I want to do it or not. Maybe a green outline. That'll be it. Maybe. No. I think I'm good with it. I think it's good enough. Actually, I did want to go back and do some gray tones on this, so just do that real quick and we'll call it a wrap. So I want to add a bit more of a dark shadow for the cape here. And we can wrap it up because I've been going live for 3 hours now. Jesus. I really am rusty. This probably would have taken, if it was a couple months ago, I probably would have done this one by now, but like I said, get me talking about Transformers and go for hours, so. Just touch up the fingers a little bit. I think it's good enough. I think we're good enough. Let's grab a pen. I can sign this. And pick. All right, there's good. Boom. All right, and there's our Lady Death. So, yeah, the reason why before I go, I drew this on top of this cardboard. It's actually from the, when I get the Bristol paper from Michaels, I actually keep the card backing. That's what this is. Because it's good for, because I used to use them for shipping out commissions, and I still do to an extent, but I use them for other things now. But the reason why I was using it now today is because of this big black blotch right here, because if you're not careful, if you accidentally press your Copic into the ink on the table, it can actually spill over into the thing you're drawing sometimes if you're not careful. So that's why I was drawing this on top of this guy here. So just a little information that you probably don't need to know, but I gave it anyways. And dated. Oh yeah. And dated. Then 31/25. I guess I put 2025, so there. There. Current date. There we go. Yeah. Why is my screen going black out? But yeah, there's our Lady Death. And actually, just to show real quick the spray paint stuff. I do have the one I did a couple days ago, and show this one off. I think I might have shown it off on Twitter, but I haven't shown it off on YouTube here. But this kind of stuff I did. I did a Punisher logo. I did this because I was trying to test out how, if I could do stuff in, like, I was just kind of curious about what I could do in the cold weathers, because I wasn't sure if I could do anything, if there was, because like sometimes there will be a lull, that there will be a warm point, not a warm point, but you know what I mean. There's gonna be kind of those like moments during the winter where it's not as bad as it could be. You know what I mean? And this is kind of me just testing out how spray paint works in cold weather. So, yeah, this is what I got, what I did. So, I kind of fucked up a little bit, though. Kind of whatever this, but it kind of works. It has a bit of character to the skull, you know. But yeah, I just did a little, very simple sort of Punisher one. Yeah, spray paint is a very different process, though. You have to be very, very patient with it. There's a lot of waiting involved, which is hard for me to do because I like to get stuff done, you know. So, but yeah, that was a cool one I did. Not gonna be part of the Christmas thing because I mostly got into spray paint for my Christmas presents to the fam. So that's why I kind of focused on that for a whole month. I couldn't really get around to doing anything else for the channel because I have to figure out for the summer though. I got to figure out how to film that. I would like to do streaming. I would like to stream that at some point if I can. But my problem with that is it takes. Because I gotta learn how to do the fire thing where, because I see a lot of these other spray paint artists, they'll actually like, not, I don't think they directly light it on fire, but they shoot out a fire from a lighter using an empty spray can, and then it kind of helps dry the paint faster. So I gotta learn how to do that. because otherwise the streams would just be me sitting on my ass like waiting for paint to dry. But yeah, there's our lady there, so I think we're pretty much good to go here. So on that note, I will see you guys later. And I still don't have the. For some reason, they took away my freaking clips because I don't know. For the longest time, I was able to use them all like willy nilly. Now they're telling me to pay for it with the. I guess they just didn't really notice me that much. I wasn't that popular, I guess, or I don't know. But yeah, now I think it might have just been a bug in the system. I was unknowingly exploiting and really realized, but yeah, whatever. I'll have to get the membership at some point, but now I can't show any of my beautiful clips, like Drunk Decepticons or my other stuff, but that's all right. So on that note, I think I'm going to call it a wrap here, guys. I'm getting tired and loopy, so rambly. So yeah, on that note, I will see you guys later. And thank you so much to Mike for dropping by and shooting the shit with me, you know. And thanks to the Dad Man and Final Fantasy fan as well, who showed up at the very start of the stream. Thanks for stopping by. I will try to become a bit more prolific over here. A bit more. I'll try to stream a bit more. Like I said, I was very, very busy with my other stuff and work to stream, but now I'm going to be doing a lot more streaming, I think, these next few months, hopefully, if my job and other things don't come in to throw a monkey wrench in my plans. But yeah, we'll see. But definitely in December, we'll be kicking up a notch with our streaming. So, but yeah, on that note, I will see you guys later.